Okay, good evening. It's 8 o'clock here in Central European time. Thanks for joining. Anybody who might be new, remember we do like to have blocks. Today we will definitely be using a block or something hard like that. Then we have a belt and a blanket, always handy for various exercises. So if you can get yourselves hold of a blanket of some sort, a belt or strap, and 2 blocks. If you have a block, if you can use the first one to sit on. If when you sit down you find that you're actually kind of pushing forward, then it's better to use a block. Prop up your sit bones or your hips, so then you can actually be sitting freely, freeing the top part from the bottom part. Ideally, hips same level or above the knees. And with that said, we're going to have a class dedicated to calves and Achilles. We're going to do lower legs, although we always cover everything, but that will be one of the main points. So with all that, if you can all mute yourselves, we'll start with a moment of silence and just introspection. Come within ourselves, feel our bodies, feel our breath, become aware of the moment and the moment and the place. Just centering before we start the class. Maybe you want to dedicate this class to someone or something outside or inside ourselves. And then with that done, we can open our eyes and we'll start warming up our shoulders by bringing the arms up as we breathe in, filling up the lungs, big, broad breath. Then breathing out, palms down, and we start releasing. Try and empty the lungs completely. Breathing in, start filling up. Stretching the arms above our head. Loosen the neck and then breathing out, palms down, and again, just gently, slowly start breathing out all the way to the end. Just the right arm, breathing in, arm up. And then maintaining the arm there, breathe out and continue breathing normally as we stretch the right arm up to the sky. Maybe we can turn the hand this time. See if we can actually screw the bulb in or out. Just moving the arm around as we stretch up. And on the next out breath, we release that arm down. Emptying the lungs again, trying to empty completely. Breathing in, left arm up. To the limit of the breath, and then release the breath and continue stretching the arm up and turning it inwards and outwards. See if you're screwing or unscrewing a big bulb in the ceiling. Check the neck is loose. And then on the next out breath, we release the arm down. Left hand, left side. Breathing out, we bend to the left. Continue breathing, continue bending. One last out breath, one last stretch to the left. Then in breath, both arms up. Right hand, right side, and we bend to the right. Continue breathing. And on each out breath, we go deeper. do this breath quite consciously as we normally just are on automatic pilot. So breathe and feel. Next in-breath, both arms up. Right hand, left knee, twist to the left. Continue breathing, continue twisting. Each out breath, we go a little bit deeper. Next in breath, both arms up. Filling up the lungs, left hand, left knee. We twist to the right as we breathe out. Continue breathing, continue twisting. Filling in, both arms up. Right hand, left knee, right shoulder, right knee. 3 breaths here, just going deeper every time, and just feel the stretch. We're stretching kind of forward and to the side. On your next, on your 4th breath, we breathe in, arms up. Left hand, right knee, left shoulder, left knee, and again stretching to the left front. Just a nice warm up to get the spine mobilized and the shoulders. And on your 4th breath, you come up. Hands in front of you and just bow down. It's not really a bow, it's just trying to get the chest or the chin to the ground to stretch the lower back and stretch the shoulders, stretch the spine, and just go chest towards the ground. And we come up. Good. So let's go. We're going to do a slightly different cat-cow this time. What we're going to do is we're going to cross our legs or our knees, yeah? So it's going to be the preparation for a cow face. So let's get left knee behind right knee. And then adjust there. We try and get, if your hips are good and your knees are good, let's try and have the feet at the edge of the mat, and then we stay there. I was going to sit back, but that's next. So from there, we'll do a couple of cat-cows. Breathe in, chest up, chest out, tailbone up. Breathe out, chin to chest, hips in and round the back. Breathe in, arch the back. Breathe out, round the back. Nice and deep breaths. 2 more. Just feel how slightly different the hips feel this way. Yeah, they're actually externally rotated. And last time, breathe out. In my case, is a brow breath. Back to neutral. And then from here, we're going to just basically round the hips above the knees in this cow face leg position. So we're just going to go with the hips right, back, left, forward, right, back, left, forward. We're going to go deeper every time. Really big circles, just with the hips. And then on the next really big circle that you're coming back, we go all the way back, but without dropping the weight. Yeah, just I advise you to have a breaker hand here, and maybe you might need to sit on the block. Just adjust the knees again. If your knees are complaining, then maybe you can come out. If not, just try and adjust the legs so that you got the one knee on top of the other, and your hips are really externally rotated. It's a nice hip position here. If you don't need the brick, then go for it, and we'll just sit there. Yeah, maybe I'll face the camera just so that you know what I'm doing. It's basically cow face. And again, if you need to use your hands to adjust the legs, so be it. but try in such a way that you're actually free. Yeah, your spine is free. If you're actually having to press your back to stay in position, then get the brick on the hip, yeah? And then there you can lean forward into this. Breathing out as you go deeper into it. Should be nice deep stretch on both hips in this case. Your knees shouldn't be complaining too much. Not natural, but it should be. If your knees are healthy, they can easily take this sideways and leverage. More breaths here, going deeper into it. And the best way to come out is to come forward on our knees, and then we swap knees round, yes? So now I had my right knee in front of the left. So now I'm gonna have my right knee behind the left. I'm gonna go back to be in this position so that you can see me sideways. We're gonna repeat everything again, trying to have the feet on the edge of the mat or outside the mat, so we get a nice external rotation of the hips here. And we start with a cat-cow, breathing in, arching the back, breathing out, rounding, deep rounding of the spine. Really smooth movement, breathing in, arching, chin up, chest forward, hips forward, breathing out, chin to chest, rounding the spine. 2 more. And we come back to neutral, and then we start these gentle rotations. Actually, I did them right way the other way, so let's do the other way now. So the other direction. So I'm actually going right front, left, back, right front, left, back. Getting bigger and bigger, and you should be able to feel the hips obviously moving and the lower spine being also flexed. Getting bigger, bigger. And on the last big rotation, we gently come back again. Just watch your weight. If you need to have the brick under your hip, do so. If not, just sit right back and adjust. And this time I'm going to stay sideways, because you've seen what we're doing, yeah? This cow face, chest forward, spine straight. Just check again, your neck shouldn't really be doing any work, well, any extra work. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Next out breath, leaning forward. You should squeeze all your hips back together and have a deeper opening of the hips here. Last deep breath out, melting into your thighs, and then coming back up. Remember, the best way to come out of this one is forward, both knees on the ground, and disengage your knees. Okay, so now from there, we're gonna go to deer pose, which we sit on our bottom. We're going to have the left leg, we're going to do a 90-90, remember? So the left leg is 90 degrees, the right leg is 90 degrees. Now this is not a natural position at all, that's why we do tend to fall. So let's just hold it here. The first, we're going to do three variations of this one. So the first one is this. Obviously we cannot put the hip on the ground because we've got this leg here, and that's why the spine is doing this curve, which is, it is what it is. And we're just going to sit there, try and open the chest forward as the spine as we have the spine doing this bend, but at the same time, we're going to try and open the chest. If you need to be, pushing yourself with a brick here, that's fine. On the other side, I'll probably have to do it. I've got quite asymmetrical hips. Or holding. You can either push with one arm or pull with the other one, but we're just holding this position for a few breaths. Feel your hips, feel your spine, feel your chest, feel your breath. And then on the next out breath, we're going to just go forward over our front leg and just lean there. This time we can maybe release the arms, so we can try and get the chest, try and get the tummy on the thigh and then the chest towards the calf or the floor. A nice feeling when you can melt into it in your own personal way. Again, hip work, yeah, we're doing, although I said we're going to do some lower leg, that comes later. At the moment, we're just opening the hips, pushing with our arms to come back up. And now the last variation is going to be in that direction, but we're not going to drop sideways. We're going to actually face that side. So this is now a nice deep twist. Face that side, so the side opposite to the leg that is on the length of the mat, and then just gently moving our hands forward until we get our elbows on the ground. Release and stretch. If the elbows feel good, then just start continuing down towards the tummy, chest, chin, and just lie there for a moment. It's like the end of the class, but no, it's not. We're just doing a different type of class today. Two more breaths here. And then we push to come out. Okay, let's make each breath count in the sense that we fill them up. Okay, so releasing the legs, maybe bring this knee forward. And then we do the other side. Yeah, so we got an hour here where we don't have to, well, we can actually pay more attention to our body and our breath. Let's make the breaths count, as in each one is a full breath, and we exercise full volume, full capacity of our breathing. Okay, so we're on the other side now. As I said, this side is harder for me, so I have to put the hand here or hold onto this leg. And then again, open the chest and just stand, sit in this very awkward and natural position, but which slowly gives our body a chance to mold into new shapes. Open the chest. Full breaths. We normally just breathe like 20% of our volume. So now we try and fill and unfill. You see what I mean? Fill and empty. And then on the next unfilling or emptying, we just lean forward onto the front of our front leg, if you see what I mean. And again, there, trying to get the elbows down, try and melt that tummy to the thigh and chest to the lower leg, the shin. Two more breaths, nice and deep. We get a chance to oxygenate our body, nice clean blood or oxygenated blood. Next in breath, we come back out. And remember, the last variation was facing that way. So we twist from the hip, we face that way, and then we start coming down. Gently, hand by hand, elbows, and then if it feels good, chest or tummy, chest and forehead, or the way around, forehead, chest and tummy. Two more breaths, make them count. And on the next in-breath, we push up and we come out of this. Let's see how you want to come out. Maybe bring in that knee in front. And let's loosen up. Okay, let's do a little bit of work on the heels, on the calves. And one way to do that is none other than our friend downward dog. So let's just not pay too much attention today on the correctness of the downward dog. Just do what you understand to be a downward dog. But why we're going to do a downward dog is because we're going to try. Normally we might do it here and have our heels up there. Let's try and bring it a little bit closer and let that heel go closer to the ground. Yeah, as I said, we're not doing too much on the arms today. We're just going to try and get the downward dog to make a stretch the back of the legs. So make it shorter and then just let the heels come down. Now to actually accentuate this work on the heels, start pumping your legs. So one leg after the other, trying to get the heel closer to the ground. Do it with the breath. Five more steps or pumps or pulses. And we come down on our knees. And because I know that some of you don't like this position too much, then we'll take a little break. I think we sit on our heels. Let me get my towel. Right, we're going to do it one more time. And this time we're going to actually unload all the weight on one leg and then the other. So and remember, we're stretching here, yeah? So back to a kind of unceremonious downward dog. And then find a position that you're just kind of stretching more the calves and the Achilles. And then let's just drop the weight on the left foot and leave the right foot. So now it should be a nice deep stretch on the left calf alone. Relax your neck. Count to 5 breaths. Relaxing to get deeper stretch. 2, 1. Change foot. So the right foot in my case is going to go down. The heel is going to try and get close to the ground, and then I'm going to bring it slightly forward to give that stretch a deeper feeling here, yeah? And we'll do the same there. Just let that back of the calf of the leg relax. And let's take 5 breaths. And then release both feet. And once again, let's take a little break. Maybe this time we'll wiggle our wrists. I've been taking that weight on our shoulders maybe. And when you're ready, we're going to do one last one. This time we're not going to do calves, we're going to do hips, just because we're in a in downward dog mood. So this time we're going to take our downward dog. Nothing too sophisticated this time. Just lift the left leg up, and then just drop the foot behind and open the hip. This is going to be a hip one. Yeah, this downward dog is just for the hips. So drop that foot behind you. Push that knee up. The left knee. Push the knee up and open those hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we're still stretching the right calf. 1, change leg. Again, yeah, so this calf is still being stretched, but now I'm going to take my knee up, open the hip, drop the foot behind, and lift the knee up. 5, knee further up. 4, back foot behind you. 3, stretch that calf, the left calf. 2, and then bring that foot down. Knees down, and we're done with downward dogs. And as a counter to all that bouncing around, let's do a lovely thread the needle. Remember, thread the needle, we'll go on all fours. Let's do it slightly again and ceremoniously release that knee as you lift the right arm up. So get this lovely twist. So we're releasing the left knee so we can actually twist our right arm right up to the sky. And then on the out breath, we go to thread the needle and both knees back to the ground. Just adjust how you put your weight down. So the weight is on the right shoulder, right cheek, right temple, and the left hand is taking some of the weight. Square your hips. And if you need more sensation on the spine, more torsion, then either push your left shoulder up or lift the left arm up and engage the top of your leggings or your pants on the other side, on the right side of the hip. Just make it feel working. 2 more breaths, make them count. Especially now the body's twisted. When you breathe, there is resistance, yeah, because your lungs are not in the normal standing or lying position. So when you do this breathing, you're having to do more work. The ribs, the diaphragm, and that's good. Yeah, putting the body in stress as a choice is good. 2 more breaths. And then we come out and similarly, we push with the left hand, release the left knee, so we can do a lovely twist to the right. And change. The other side. Okay, maybe have a little wiggle there. And now we're going to lift the left hand, release that knee so it frees up the hip to open the chest to the left. Nice big breath. And then as you breathe out, engage or thread that needle, get the knees back together, lie on the left shoulder, adjust the weight with your other hand so that the weight goes on the left shoulder, left cheek, left temple. And again, just adjust there, either pushing with the arm to create more sensation or lifting the arm up or binding to the left side of your hands. Check that your hips are square as you can feel them. And let's have another deep breath here to squish the abdomen and to make the diaphragm work differently and the intercostal muscles in the ribs. Everything's having to work differently in this breath. 3 breaths deep. Next out breath, we push. Release the right knee so that we can stretch the chest to the left. and release. Great. So that's thread the needle, and now the opposite. Let's sit on our heels, or let's sit on our toes just for a moment. You know, we like to stretch these toes. Again, depending on how your toes feel, you might be here, or you might be fully weight. And I just wanted to do that to loosen the shoulders. Just do any shoulder movements. Stay on your toes. Check your little toe is also being bent. 3 more breaths. Stretching the toes. We're also stretching a little bit the Achilles and the calves, so that's good. 3, 2, and then gently coming forward, taking the weight of the toes, maybe patting them. And then the counter to the previous one is we're going to actually bend the shoulder in the opposite direction. We've done this before. You lie on your tummy. Let's see how I can do it with the wall there. Lie on the tummy, right arm 45 degrees. That's what I do because my shoulders are stiff. If you got nice and loose shoulders, you can actually do it perpendicular to your body, so 90 degrees. I'm doing about 30, 45 degrees, depending on your shoulder capability. And then we're just going to roll the body to the side where the shoulder is. And so we're now stretching, obviously, the shoulder backwards. Yeah, this is a nice position that we can also do often against the wall. If you're feeling stiff from being whatever, leaning forward or doing some manual work in the forward direction, you can just stand by a wall and do this. Again, you can actually accentuate this by taking the left leg further and further back, or by pushing with the left arm, but just do what feels right. This is quite a deep stretch of the shoulder. If anybody's had dislocated shoulder as a child or as an adult, which can happen, then be very careful, be very conscious here. 3 more breaths. And then as we come out, we just come out gently. I don't use the arm to come out, just roll and relax the arm. Don't use the arm, and then we can bring that arm down next to your body and relax it, yeah? So no stress on that arm. Now you don't need to move. I'm going to move just to be facing the other way. And you're going to just do the other side, yeah? So we're going to go left arm again, either 45 or 30 or 90 degrees, depending on your body physiognomy. And then just roll the body towards that shoulder. And again, there are levers here for more or less sensation or deeper or weaker stretch, is how much you roll your body back, how much you pull that leg behind you, how much you can push with this arm, and just gauge yourself. It's a nice stretch. It's very anti-natural in the sense that we don't do this often, so it's good. Stretch all the front of the pectoral muscles, etc., the ones by the shoulders. Okay, 3 more breaths. And then again, release by just dropping the body back to the front. A gentle move of the arm down to the side. And then just relax there for 2 breaths. And then when you're done with that, we're going to stand up. Have a block ready or a nice big thick book. In this case, it can be a book because we're gonna step on it, yeah. But before we do that, we're gonna work on the calves. But before we, dig deep in the calves, find your natural feet width. Yeah, as I've said before, if you sway a little bit forward and backwards, you'll find where your feet should be. hips width apart, and then we're going to like bend, fold from the hip here. And then once we're folded from the hip, then we can start getting the tummy towards the thighs here. And then getting the chest towards the knees. And then just release your arms. Could be on your shins, your feet on the floor. And then take the tummy in. If you really suck your tummy in, you might be able to go a little bit deeper there. And as you go deep, feel your calves. Yeah, today we're going to be working on calves and Achilles, so feel how, of course, we're stretching the hamstrings here, hamstrings, and the calves here. Going a little bit deeper. Hold on to wherever. I mean, I'm just holding here because it just feels nice. You can hold on to your, whatever, your shins or your, just stretch. 3, 2, and then to come up, maybe you want to put your hands on your hips, micro bend the knees as you come up, just to protect the back there. Loosen up the legs. And now we have the killer version. Okay, we've got a block there. I'm going to put the right foot on the side of the block and the left foot, just the toes on the block. Can you see me there? I think you can, yeah. And then you know what we're going to do here. We're going to just, once again, so, oh, okay, that shouldn't happen. Put the toes there. And then again, parallel feet. We fold from the hip, and then we just everything again. But this time we obviously have that left calf absolutely screaming, in the sense that we're getting a nice deep stretch on this left calf, and then lean forward. Deep breaths. Going forward, deeper, the same as we did before. We're going to try and get the same bend before, but now we got an excess of a stretch on the left calf. 3, 2, continue breathing, hold the position, continue breathing, hold the position. And again, coming back, micro bending the knees, protecting the lower back. And release, especially that leg. Okay, great. Let's do the other side. I'm going to do it facing. I don't know if it looks any different. I guess not, but I'm going to do it facing this way so you can see that I've got my left foot on the side of the block, my right foot on the block. Again, finding my hips width apart, and then we're going to fold by folding first the hip, then getting the tummy towards the thigh and the chest towards the knees. And then just dangle there. I mean, if it's getting too much, just dangle. Or you can actually grab whatever you can grab down there and suck your tummy in and breathe out. You go deeper. Nice conscious breathing, conscious stretching. 2 more breaths. And we come back up very gently. Loosen up. Right, and now just for fun, we'll do it again without bricks and see if you can feel any different. You should have hyperextended calves. No, not hyperextended. But let's just now do one final one. Just leaning forward. Oh, yeah. And just going there. And just do a forward fold. Now with no bricks, you should feel actually that you're going a little bit deeper. Two breaths. And release. Okay, that's a simple forward fold, loosen up. And let's go to Malasana, which is our squat pose. So to get a nice broad legs here, once again, I always show this to people. If you know what I'm going to show, ignore it. If you go into your squat and you find that your feet are really sticking up and you're feeling very uncomfortable, roll the blanket, put it under your heels, and then you'll be able to lean into it. Yeah, what we need to do is to lean into it. Have a nice, strong pelvic floor, contracted. So that's a trick to use if you cannot, if your body is not at the stage that you can put your heels on the ground. So if your heels are on the ground, then use your elbows to push those knees out. And then without collapsing, holding the pelvic floor in, we're gonna have a few breaths here. Opening the hips. Notice we're also working the ankles. Yeah, if you're not feeling your not the ankles, the Achilles and the calf. If you're not feeling this stretch, then close. See, I cannot do it. Close your step. Yeah. So if you're not feeling a lot of sensation on your ankle, on your Achilles and on the ankles, then close your step. Right, after 2 breaths, what we're going to do is release the arms and go on our toes. Well, actually, on the next breath. Release the hands, maybe prayer pose, and just go on your toes. Now, this is now using the heels to the calves to work, yeah, around to stretch. 3, 2, and 1. Release the heels on the ground. Lift the heels up. Release the heels on the ground. Now we're going to take the lift up to the 7th floor. Remember, we're going to go slowly in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And today's trick is we're going to close our step a little bit. Yeah, you know what the effect is going to have? Going to be harder on keeping the heels down. And we're going to go down in 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. It should feel different as you go deeper into it. But again, try and keep those heels down. Stretch the calves, stretch the Achilles. So this is our squatting pose. And today we're doing it closer. And then from there, on the count of 3, 2, 1, lift the heels up on your toes. And on the count of 3, we release. 3, 2, 1, heels back down. Okay, that feels very different. 3, 2, and release. However you want to, maybe hands down and butt up, or you can sit down from there. Just neutralize that position. And we come on the ground. Okay, we're coming on the ground before we get up again. This is just to release the tension on those calves. Yeah, and what we're going to do is just windscreen wipe. I think we did this last week as well. So find the natural position of your legs that you can actually drop both knees to the left side. The heels lift up, the hip lifts up, that's normal. Bringing the knees up, and we drop them to the other side. And we're going to do this a few times to both sides. Yeah, but every time, trying to keep more of your hip down on the ground so that you actually get more work on the hips. So to the right, trying to keep hips on the ground. To the left, trying to keep the hips on the ground. To the right. And now the last 2 times, if you're using your hands, we'll try and do it without using the hands. There's a lot of work to be done on the hips. One side, left side, and right side. And we come back to the center and release. Okay, from there we're going to go and do a sun salutation. Let's stand up. We're going to do a very brief 6, remember we've done it before, 6 breath sun salutation. I think all of you have probably done it. Do I recognize any names today? Yes. So let's see if we all know the sun salutation. So it's six breaths. So see if you can just follow the instructions if you've done it, and don't look at the camera, so you can just stand at the end of the mat. And let's just do the breathing this time. Yeah, so breathe in, arms up. Breathe out, swan dive down to forward fold. Breathe in, half fold. Breathe out, plank and chaturanga down to the ground. Nose, knees, and chin to the ground. Breathe in, cobra or upward dog. Breathe out, downward dog. Breathe in, step or jump forward to a half fold. Breathe out, forward fold. And 6th breath, breathe in, arms up. Breathe out, Anjali Mudra prayer pose. One more time. Let's do the breaths, yes? Breathe in, arms up. Close your eyes. Breathe out, swan dive down to forward fold. Breathe in, half fold. Breathe out, step, push, jump, and chaturanga down to the ground. Breathe in, upward dog or cobra. Breathe out, downward dog. Breathe in, step or jump forward, half fold. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, arms up, Utkatasana. Breathe out, Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. Close your eyes and just hold that position. Keep on breathing and just look inside. And release the arms. Okay, from there, we're gonna do the goddess pose, which is like the squat pose, but much wider. And we're gonna let, again, angle your feet, and then let's just open the legs. Yeah, cowboy pose, or some people call it. So goddess feet, goddess arms. Hold for 7. Opening the chest, 5, 4, hips gently forward, 3, 2, and on your heels on 1, 7, 5, 3, 1, release the heels. From there now, let's keep in the legs in this cowboy position. Lean forward and stretch your arms forward. So we're now sideways. It would look as if you're trying to reach something forward. So your body's parallel to the ground, your arms are trying to reach something, and your legs are still in goddess pose. Stretch the arms away. 3, 2, stretch and release. Hands on knees. So you can release the top side of the body. And here we're going to do the side twist. Remember, I always say to be very careful. So right hand on the right knee, straighten the arm, and then just take the left shoulder towards the left knee. Gently, because it's a deep twist, and we're in standing position. Yeah, so just a nice twist, consciously moving round. Release, left knee, lock left arm, Left elbow towards right knee. Again, very beautifully rotating or twisting. Releasing 1 second time each side, in your own time, in your own body. Change whenever you finish the breath. And we release. Come up. Leave your legs where you are because we need them there. And we're going to go on to side lunge or ninja pose. There's so many names. So just bending the left knee, taking the weight on that foot and raising the right heel. Okay, once again, some of you might have the heel on the ground. I don't, but that's also a relationship of your calf there. But today we're not gonna, although we're stretching there, the Achilles and the calf there, what we're gonna do today is lean towards the other leg. Just forward fold into your right leg as you try and release the heel down on this side, of course, but just a balance of the two motions. 3 breaths here. Maybe some of you might want to push that left knee away to open the hip further on the last 2 breaths. And then when you finish with that last breath, hands forward, and we're going to swap sides. And we go on the right side. Stretching the left knee or the left leg, yeah. And then we're going to do the same. Bending over on that straight leg. Let's do 2 breaths, leaning right into it. And the last 2 breaths, maybe we can push the right knee away with the free hand, the right hand. And we release. And from there, I hope we're going to sit in position, which we're not. So we're coming back to the center, bringing your body up and closing the legs. Loosen the knees, loosen the hips. The last work on our calves is going to be pyramid pose, which we all know is similar to a forward fold, but we're going to actually have our legs in a pyramid position. So find the step that feels natural, nice. Yeah, we're going to be leaning into it. So if you close it too much, I think it gets more difficult. Just find, and we can adjust. Okay, and then face your hips forward, open the chest. Straighten your torso, and then fold from the hips, then the tummy, then the chest, and then the hands, yeah? And then just adjust there to actually get this really deep front leg stretch. Two more counts. Maybe here, some of you might want to have your blocks or just the hands or whatever. Hands on hips, lifting up, and we swap sides. Left foot forward, right foot behind. And then once your legs are straight, hopefully not hyperextended, but just straight, hips forward, fold the hip, tummy to chest, tummy to thigh, chest to knee, and hands down. And then hands on hips, we're coming back up. 1 second and last time, this time with a twist, which is not a twist, with a deadly scheme, yeah? The block on your toes. well, the block under your toes. So you now are lifting your foot up. And again, hips facing forward. We lean, we fold, and we lean, and then we come towards that foot. Now, you don't need the block. You could have done this without the block, just by lifting your toes up, but it just kind of helps if you have something holding it there. And then just feel that nice deep stretch of the right calf. 3, 2, and again, release, coming back up. Oh. And then we swap side, left foot forward, finding the block there. I'm going to put it on the second height, so I get a nice deep lift of the toes there. And then fold, tummy to thigh, chest to knee, and then forehead towards the foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release by coming back up, and release the block. Okay, that's us done on the standing. Let's go on the ground. Sit down. And what we're going to do on the ground is going to be just one asana, and then we'll twist and we'll close, yeah, with the Shavasana. So the right foot inside the left thigh, bend the left leg, grab it either with a belt, or if your arms are long enough, with your hand, and then just lift that foot up. Once again, we're going to be stretching the hamstrings and the calf there. Bring the knee towards your chest. 3, 2, and release. Other side. Bend the right knee and, well, just tuck it in. Grab the right foot and lift it up. Knee towards chest, or chest towards knee. 3, 2, and release. Okay, let's lie on our backs and just do a gentle twist, just to release the spine. So we're lying on our back, trying to get the full back on the ground. Try and see if you can feel your lumbar on the ground. Lift the knees up, dropping them to the right. Releasing the left shoulder to the left and the left arm to the left. And if your neck is good, you can be looking at the left middle finger, and the right hand maybe gently pressing the right knee down. Nice twist on the ground, melt into it. Lifting the knees up, dropping them to the left, releasing the right shoulder to the right, maybe looking at that right hand, and with the left hand gently pressing the left knee down. Lifting the knees up, feet down, back to the mat. And then just check that your hips are in the center, straighten the legs, lie on your back, just maybe wiggle to check that everything is in line. Maybe one final stretch I just like to do
nice big stretch when I'm in Shavasana. So maybe one stretch if you feel like it. And then release arms to the side. Relax the body. It's now 9 o'clock. Time to finish the physical part of the class. Now you can continue with a 3-minute, 5-minute Shavasana on your own. I will close the meeting. I thank you for attending. If you want to leave any feedback, on Sunday, I'm afraid I'm off to the sea. So I'm not going to be able to do the class in the morning. So maybe some ideas, what some people, might find more useful, whether it be Sunday evening or Saturday morning or Saturday evening, but we'll see. Thanks for joining. Namaste, and stay in your Shavasana.